Hey guys, I wanted to explain why the news about Ghislaine Maxwell being transferred to a lower security federal prison facility today matters and how it fits into the overall mosaic of Trump, the Epstein files, and this situation that's blown up in the news over the past few weeks. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell is serving 20 years in federal prison for having trafficked over 1,000 underage female victims to Jeffrey Epstein. And what's happened over the past few weeks, as the Epstein files situation has kind of blown up into a debacle in the news for Donald Trump and become a public relations disaster, he's tried various things to try to distract from that, okay? One of them was, calling Barack Obama a traitor, going after Kamala Harris, just various things that he's done. Now, one of the things that he actually did was he had Todd Blanche, his former criminal defense attorney, and I believe the second in command of the Department of Justice, go and interview her. Now, that is incredibly strange for two key reasons. First, someone that high up in the Department of Justice never goes and interviews prisoners for this type of information or in this type of situation. That is usually a line prosecutor and a couple of FBI agents. Now, the reason is they need FBI agents there is because if the witness lies during that interview, they can be charged with that. But attorneys are not allowed to be witnesses. It's unethical and it creates all kinds of, practical evidentiary problems in the trial. So they have the FBI agents there so they can be the ones to testify about what she said and how she lied and so forth. So again, completely breaking procedure and having Todd Blanche go and do that. Number two, Todd Blanche is Trump's former criminal defense attorney. And that's an ethical problem for him because he owes a duty of loyalty to his former client, and he also owes a duty of loyalty to his current job. So if he goes and interviews Maxwell, she very well could, incriminate Donald Trump, his former client. So he should never even put himself in that situation because then he's pulled apart by his ethical duties. So that whole thing is highly suspicious, strange, and weird. Also, I must mention, after that meeting, Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney tried to paint her as the victim. I found that completely disgusting and scumbag behavior, even by a lawyer, because he said that she never had the opportunity to tell her story, which is utter BS because she could have testified at her trial. She could have talked to investigators at any time. She just chose not to. It was a tactical decision so she could try to win her trial and get off for all the horrible stuff she did. Just wanted to clarify that. Okay, so we've got this first sort of sphere of special treatment that she's had. Then today we find out she's been transferred from a federal correctional institute in Tallahassee to a federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas. Now, an FCI is a medium security federal prison. Now, they have low and medium security FCIs, but I won't get into that. But basically, it's a prison that looks like a prison. It has high walls, it has guards, it has, guys in the guard towers with rifles, high security cell blocks. I mean, it looks like a normal prison, what you would expect, okay? And they don't have the same level of programs, and what the inmates have to do there is work most of the time. It's not a nice place to be, okay? It is a real hardcore prison. What she got moved to today is a federal prison camp, which is literally the lowest security, nicest, and I use, obviously it's prison, but still in the prison system, the federal prison system, it is the nicest, lowest security facility that exists. There's no perimeter fence. They live basically in dormitories. They have lots of special programs and things that they can do. And the key thing is, the key question you should have is, why was she moved there now? And then it comes out, based on reporting, I believe from MSNBC, that she was ineligible for this transfer based upon her sentence and, a lot of other factors that are objective factors written into the law, written into the Federal Bureau of Prisons, manuals and so forth. And she shouldn't have been there. She actually had to get a waiver to get sent to this low security facility. So again, another sphere of suspicious information, and it indicates to me that she's being put there because they want to stay on her good side. Trump is trying to get her to, do her a favor, and she's not entitled to that favor. And all of this situation completely re-traumatizes the victims because nobody's talking to them to get information about possible other accomplices to Jeffrey Epstein. They're being totally ignored, totally cast aside, and they actually came out and released a statement about that today jointly, some of the Epstein victims, about how what Trump is doing is sort of hurting them all over again. So in any event, that's where we are. Maxwell's getting all this special treatment in in unprecedented ways. Wanted to explain that. We'll see how it keeps going. The situation is really bizarre, and it looks like Trump is trying to use her to somehow hide or shield himself from further public relations scrutiny.